Hello, my beautiful Capricorns. Hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome back. Welcome to my channel. I am Lisa, and this is North Star Energy Healing. Today, we're going to be doing a reading that will be posted on Friday, the 17th of July for the upcoming week. But if you were drawn to the title and it's not those dates, don't worry. You know, time is really irrelevant. So we are going to be using the Oracle of the Universe to open your reading, and then a beautiful woodland deck to close it out, along with the Gilded Tarot Royale for the tarot portion. I do want to just tell you, I have the window open because it is so beautiful and breezy and cool right now. Probably later on in the day it will be hot, but so you might hear some road noise. We're in the country, but we're on kind of more of a main road in the country, and people tend to drive really fast. So if any motorcycles go by, I'll have to probably just stop for a minute until they pass by. But also, I'm kind of casual today. It is Thursday, the 16th, as I'm recording this. But I have the day off, and I'm going to just do some things around here. So I'm wearing, I know it looks like I just have a black t-shirt on. I'm wearing my Drink Moxie since 1884. This is a Maine soda that was developed years ago as something not as sweet as Coca-Cola. If any of you don't know, Moxie is one of my favorite sodas. I love it. Its tagline is distinctively different, and it is. Some people say it tastes like cough medicine. I don't think so. I happen to love it. Anyway, all right, so let's get right to it. So my beautiful Capricorns, the card that came out for you from the Oracle of the Universe is number 3. Threes are creation and collaboration. This is the constellation Gemini, and the tagline on this card is rescue. Gemini, rescue. Gemini are the twins. Gemini represent duality, right? Oftentimes people joke and say, which Gemini am I getting, today? I often also wonder, how did they see in this constellation twins? I don't know. It's baffling to me sometimes when I look at constellations. I'm like, how did they see that in that constellation? Anyhow, the other thing is this book, what I'm reading, whoops, sorry, wrong side, is this right here, because this is the main message, and I can't see it with my naked eye or with my glasses. If I could suggest one improvement to this, it would be don't put a black page with tiny white script, because we can't see it. So I have to use my magnifying glass to read that. I'll hold up the card again after I read the message, okay? Thank you guys. Bear with me. All right, Gemini, rescue. Sorry, you're looking at the top of my head, but I only have 2 hands. You cannot save everyone, especially if they do not wish to be saved. Ask permission when giving advice. You have no right to control others. Act out of true compassion, not pity. Keep your own focus. Do not covet what others have. Real rescue. Wait a minute. I can't even read that word. Oh, real rescue in times of crisis is one of the highest deeds of humanity. Real rescue in times of crisis is one of the highest deeds of humanity. Right. You have to act out of compassion, not pity. You also have to act out of compassion, not having your own beliefs or what have you forced on the person that you're rescuing or helping, right? So good things to keep in mind. Oh, whoops, I said I was going to hold that up again. Rescue. You have to remember that everyone doesn't want to be rescued. Some people love to just stay in drama, stay in the pity party. They don't want to be helped, right? So that's something that we all have to realize sometimes. I'm sure I do it myself too. I've sometimes worked with people who constantly complain about everything in their life, and you try to turn them around to be positive. I had a friend years ago who just complained about everything. I helped her go get her stuff from another state when I barely knew her. I gave her a cell phone because she kept complaining about money, and we were upgrading our phones. So I gave her a phone. And then it was just constant issues. Then I went through a bad time in my life and she wasn't there. Like 6 months later, she came knocking on my door to apologize for basically abandoning me in my time of need. And I was like, um, thank you for saying that, but I think our friendship is probably at an end. I mean, so yeah, she didn't want to be rescued. She just wanted to continue to feel sorry for herself. And yeah, so we have to keep those things in mind, right? We can't force somebody to get out of that state. They're going to have to go through their own dark night of the soul and get to where they can help themselves. All right. I don't know who needed to hear that, but Capricorns, maybe there's somebody in your life that you've helped over and over and over. Somebody that you have listened to their sorrows and their complaints and their negativity so much that it's affecting you. So you may have to have a boundary, about that. All right, let me face the camera down so we can pull some tarot. Okay, my lovelies. I hope you're all doing well. As I said, it's going to be a beautiful day here in Maine today, the 16th of July. I heard from an old dear friend of mine that doesn't live too far from me, but we often go months without seeing each other. It's just, gosh, life is so busy. I was thinking about that right before I started this. When I was talking to my guides, before I do readings, I always take a moment to focus and clear my mind and talk to my guides and ask them in. And I was saying to them, I know I need to find more time to meditate for myself, and I'm just like, gosh, there's always so much to do, so many lists. Like when I had today off, I said, I'm going to soak my feet and I'm going to meditate and I'm going to do this. Well, I have to return bottles. We have returnables here in Maine and we keep them in the basement, but until we get, a few bags. I mean, I don't just return them little by little. So I'm like, I've got to do that. I've got to get that done on a day when I don't have anything else planned. So then my list quickly evolved into, I've got to go to Trader Joe's and pick up this. And I've got to, and then I'm like, wow, the whole day is going to be full of errands again. I have a hard time relaxing anyway. My Sagittarius Leo rising personality is a doer. Like, I got to get this done. I've got to get that done. And I'm married to a procrastinator. So we balance each other out quite well, I might add. All right. I didn't even notice the cards because I was talking. So building on this, you can't rescue a person who doesn't want to be rescued. I guess we'll say that. The first thing you have is the Nine of Wands. Now, wands are action and passion. This card is sometimes called the Wounded Warrior. He's been putting all of this effort and time and energy and action into these things or this thing that he's been doing. So Capricorns, you may have put a lot of time, energy, and effort into something and you're almost done. Nines are completion. Nines are, wow, the word is accomplishment. Oh my goodness. Nines are accomplishment. So you have put a lot of effort into something. Now, could this be the person that you've been trying to help and you've put so much into that you're almost depleting your own, energies? Let's see what else comes out. Page of Wands. So you start off with a lot of action, passion, and fire. This Page of Wands is carrying a message from your ancestors or those, your loved ones who have crossed over. You see the cardinals there. Cardinals do represent, those that have crossed trying to come around. So whenever you see a cardinal, I shouldn't say whenever. If you have a bird feeder and cardinals come every day, that's not going to be it. It's when you don't expect it. So an example is one day my sister and I were talking about her best friend's husband who had passed away. And I rarely see cardinals here. I don't even know if I've ever seen one in my yard. I was on the phone with my sister. We were talking about him, and a red cardinal flew right in front of the window I was looking at and perched right on the railing. So I was like, hi, Tim, because I knew that that was him. We were talking about him, and there appears a cardinal. So I'm talking about that kind of thing. So if you see a cardinal in a situation that is not where you normally see one, you're driving along and a red cardinal drives in front of your car, who are you thinking about at that moment? Or what situation are you thinking about that connects you to that person, right? So one of your ancestors, or it could even be a guide, is trying to get a message to you, right? So be open to that, right? Be on the lookout for that. You could even see a cardinal as you're scrolling through, Facebook, Instagram, or even on TikTok. That still counts, right? Because it is a cardinal. Now, pages are typically novices. He's ready to do something. You see, he's ready to take a step. He's got his wand there all lit up. But oftentimes it's some new thing that you're not fully comfortable with, that you don't fully understand yet. So somebody could be trying to get a message to you, and it could relate to this. Maybe your ancestors and guides are trying to tell you, hey, this, isn't working out, or this is not good for you. Another example of that is I went to a psychic medium once, and my grandfather came through, and I had a cousin that I had been helping with some things, and I had felt kind of manipulated. Like, she'd invite me over for dinner and then say, oh, first we need to load these 50 bales of hay in, or she'd invite me to go somewhere for lunch, and this really happened. And then she'd say, oh, first I got to stop by here and pick up some hay. And it was just, making it sound like she wanted to spend time with me, and then putting me to work on something instead of just saying, Lisa, can you help me with this? Which I would have said yes. At that reading, my grandfather came through and said, this person is he didn't say her name out, but he talked about a situation through that psychic medium, and I hadn't told her anything. And he said, it's time for you to cut ties because she's always 2 steps ahead of you, and you're not going to be able to figure this out. So I was like, whoa. Okay, so that type of thing. If maybe there's a message trying to come through about this person that you've been trying to rescue. Okay, now I know this is a collective reading and it's not going to resonate for everyone, but whenever I do a message like this that's so precise, I know that it's going to get to the right person or people. And if this isn't your message, I apologize. Just, move on, or maybe the rest of the message will resonate. Okay. 4 of Cups. Now, this is very interesting. So it comes after that message that we just had. And this is a person who's kind of complacent or comfortable in these 3 cups, kind of not paying attention when something new is trying to come through. Now, cups are about emotion, nurturing, water signs. Okay. So this person is kind of dreamily looking right past that cup, right? And an opportunity is trying to show itself. Something new is trying to come in, and you're not paying attention. So this could have something to do with this situation here, right? With trying to help someone that doesn't want to be helped. Or it could be something totally different. It could be some sort of, I don't know why it could be some sort of new opportunity in romance, possibly, or some new opportunity within your family, possibly, as well. And then you have a couple of swords cards coming out, and then another. So you've got 2 wands, 2 cups, 2 swords. What's missing in this reading, which is very strange for a Capricorn, is pentacles. Typically, you always get pentacles, but not this time. 10 of swords. Okay. So this 10 of swords, so what I'm feeling is this is a learning experience. So these swords are communication. This person is lying in this poppy field, right? He's exhausted from whatever communication has been happening. And I really do feel like this is going back to that situation with this person, and you're just getting really tired of hearing it. Every time, it's almost like this person it's gotten to the point where it feels like you're being, stabbed or pricked. Every single time this person starts talking, you cringe. You're like, oh my gosh, not again. Why are they complaining again? Why can't they see that this is ridiculous? And they're keeping themselves in this negative time. So this is like now, obviously I'm an intuitive reader, right? Every card doesn't say the same exact thing every time because it depends on what they're paired with. And I have a whole thing on TikTok using 3 different decks explaining each card and how the meaning can change depending on what's around the card. If you're interested, you can go over to that. And the TikTok channel is NSEH207 Tarot. NSEH 207 Tarot, or NSEH Tarot 207. Anyway, so you are really tired of this. You're tired of this whole run around, this whole constant complaining, the constant negativity, and you may really love this person, but if the person doesn't want to stop doing that, you can't make them do it. So what do? You're going to row away from that negativity. Yeah. So this is the 6 of Swords, but this is a person who's trying to get to a better place, right? The sunny place, the brighter place. And this darker side is kind of weighing it down. In some cards, it shows the swords actually dragging through the water, holding you back, keeping you from getting, it's almost like one foot is in a block of cement and you're trying to walk, right? Because this being around negative, complaining people drags your energy and frequency down. So you've got to throw these swords out of the boat, make the boat lighter so you can speed on over to the new place. I hope that makes sense. Once you do that, woohoo, celebration. This is the 9 of Cups, right? This is getting to the place where you want to be, celebrating. It's almost like a breath of fresh air. Look, he's so happy. He's holding up his cup. He's like, oh my gosh, thank God I've gotten through that, right? Cups are, as I said, water signs, love, nurturing, flow, right? And 9s are, you started with a 9 and you end with a 9. So look how different. Starting with the 9 of Wands, wounded warrior. Oh boy, really weighed down with all the accomplishing that's been going on, all the action. And look at this, the last card. Once you go through all of that and decide that you are getting away from that negative person, that negative situation. Yes, it could be a situation, right? Maybe you have to leave your job because and that happened to me as well. I was in a job and I was just with so many negative people, just constantly complaining, fighting, arguing, talking about their horrible lives. And I was like, I just can't do this. I have to get out of here. So your soul gets dragged down. And in that particular job, I used to picture mirrors facing out and circling me so that I could try to ward off all their negativity and not have to take it in. Okay, so just recapping, I just want to see again this this Gemini card. You cannot save everyone. Yeah, especially if they do not wish to be saved, right? Real rescue in times of crisis is one of the highest deeds of humanity. But you have to do it out of true compassion, not pity. Keep your own focus. Yeah, that was also in here with that Gemini card. Keep your own focus. Yeah, you can't be torn away because you're spending too much time on whatever this situation is, right? A person, a job. I mean, it is people, but where they are in family, friends, or work is going to depend on you. So 9 of Wands, trying to get to the end, listening to the messages, the cardinals, whatever's coming through, making sure that you pay attention for that. What they're saying is like a chink in the armor or a crack that you can get through to get out and away from this, right? There's an opportunity to sail away and get to a different position. Wow, Capricorns, this is such a different reading for you all. Your woodland card is journey. Branch out to new worlds. Yeah. Branch out to new worlds. Get away from anything negative that is holding you back, my beautiful Capricorns. So the week following the 17th, or whenever you come to this message, just be aware that there may be somebody who's dragging your focus, your energy, and your frequency down. And if you can't get them out of it or bring them out of it, you're going to have to get away, not hang out with, whatever. I'm not saying move completely, but I'm saying you're going to have to stay away from that person and regroup and replenish and reset. Okay. It's possible that you could come back, if they're ready to change, and maybe they will be. If you say, you may have to be completely blunt and honest and say, look, I love you, but you're so negative all the time. I need a break. And maybe they just never come back to you. Maybe they don't like you, but you're telling the truth, right? Okay, my beauties, have a lovely week. Peace and kindness every single day. I love you all.